I want to speak to Peter Gishangi, who is the chairman of the Safaricom Investment Cooperative. Good afternoon, Peter. And let's begin by looking at a question that I had asked one Chris. And what would you say has been the impact of COVID-19, especially on how Safaricom Investment has been able to continue with its businesses, and also the liquidity levels and how your members are able to continue with their contributions, at the same time how they're able to access credit?
Thank you very much, and I'm glad to be here on this session this afternoon. Of course, the year 2020 is evident across most sectors in this country and across the world generally. The SACCO industry has been impacted. The same impact that you would potentially see in the financial institutions affecting most savings and credits. The Safaricom Investment Cooperative is a different type of cooperative, not necessarily a savings and credit. It's purely an investment cooperative, a lot more of almost like a business. Nonetheless, the tenants that govern a cooperative still exist on the Safaricom Investment Cooperative. So monthly contributions to maintain one's active membership is one of the things that we do. And we could see the impact of that with quite a number of members reaching out and saying, look, my business this year is not performing as expected, or I am now, on a salary cut. I have lost my job, and I therefore need to adjust what I have been contributing towards the cooperative, and that has been had quite some impact in terms of our cash flows and what we are able to do. We have been able to bridge those by various activities. I would say one of the benefits that our cooperative has gained during this period is that there was a lot of awareness amongst people that they need to hold on to something much more tangible than what they have had as liquid assets, or some classes of investments which were not very tangible. Because we do quite a bit of real estate, we saw quite some growth in interest of people looking to own some small piece somewhere. Quite a number of them willing to build in, quarter acre, eighth acre, have their own space. We got a sense that very many people, especially small, young families, were keen on providing some safe space for their kids to play in, not necessarily tied into an apartment building. And many people were concerned what would happen if there was a full-blown lockdown in Kenya. Would they be stuck in their flats and not able to go out and play and so on? And we saw that leading very many people to come and buy some properties. It has not been easy for many of our members, but we have provided them some soft landing, and we'll continue to do that, giving discounts and longer term repayment periods for the various projects that we have.
Right, and obviously one would ask, especially when all this is happening, if you are to reduce the amount of contribution, how exactly now do you reconcile the interests of the SACCO, because you need to continue creating the business, but also here are your members that they're having these challenges. How do you balance both interests?
Yeah, it's a very complex question that you ask, and one that is very valid. So you have, for example, the regulator who is the cooperatives, in our case the Ministry of Cooperatives. In the savings and credits, there is SASRA. They dictate to you some ratios that you need to maintain for you to be considered a quality SACCO, and you have to balance those. So if you, for example, the previous years had done some investments in certain asset classes. In our case, you have invested members' funds in houses, in land, etc. But now their monthly contributions are not coming as you expect. Some of your ratios get affected, and now you get into the scrutiny of the regulator, which then ends up being some very difficult conversations. If you're in a savings and credits, the same happens, and possibly a lot deeper there, because there is tangible money that people would be expecting to come and borrow. And if you're not getting these contributions from your members, if some of them are requesting for you to delay payments of their loans, extend their payment duration, reduce the amount they pay per month, then the liquidity into the organization is reducing, which may affect other things. So you are expected to continue providing service to the other members. If you have not collecting as much as you were collecting before, and other members are coming to ask you for, loans, or they want you to invest in other projects, and you can't now because the cash flow is not coming, then you find yourself in a difficult position. And the boards of the SACCOs then have to make some decisions. Do you go into other type of financing to support, the day-to-day activities? Do you go for regulatory exceptions so that you are able to keep the business up? But you end up having to balance quite a bit. And we have seen ourselves and other organizations then reaching those balances.